Hello, guys. Welcome again to another new week where we look at the market and we look at what the market, is likely to do this week, like we normally do in our usual manner. You're welcome if this is your first time to my channel. My name is Adilola Shokoya. I'm a Forex trader. I'm a crypto trader. And then every week, this part of the channel is where we look at, what the market is likely to do for the week. All right. So, like in our usual manner, we normally look at DXY. DXY is always our first, this thing that we look at, the first instrument that we look at. And the reason is, because we know the dollar is the most powerful currency in the world. So it's very important to look at what the dollar is doing, right? So I haven't said that, last week, I remember, we were looking at, if you follow me last week, we were actually looking at what the DXY was doing. And I was saying that the previous week, like 2 weeks before, like I'm on the weekly chart right now, as you can see, that this candle here that we have, this reversal candlestick that we have there, that if it still holds, as long as we have not taken out 107, this area, that I'll still be very careful, to buy. Okay. If you're a conservative trader like me, you want to wait for price to break out from this range, because right now we are in a range, although we are in this zone, broken into this new zone, this zone known as the Willis zone, that is named after a very, very beautiful Nigerian trader known as Dapper Willis. This area, we're broken into this zone. So I expect price to actually, pull up to the upside. But then, you want to wait for price to break out from this range around 107. So we see that price is still battling with this area. All right. So I'll still be on the lookout, but the dollar is looking very strong. And I know it's just a matter of time before we break out from this range. All right. So I will say that let's look at what gold is doing. Like I said last week, at the beginning of the week, that we will actually see gold after gold broke this range, this trend line, that we're going to be moving up. And as you can see, gold has been true to his word. We've been pushing up. And and I also said the reason why we see gold pushing this hard. Why, normally when you have the XY is coming down, gold will be going up, right? And I say much more than that. The reason why we are seeing so much momentum in gold is because of the unrest that is going on in the Middle East. There's a lot of tension in the Middle East right now, and anytime you have a tension like that around the world, we always see alternative assets to digital, to currency, to dollar, like gold, like Bitcoin. They keep pushing up, and that's exactly what we're saying. So it should be, I'll be looking for more buying opportunity around there. I think I took one of my accounts, took a good buy around this area after we broke out from here. After we test 1973, I took a buy up to around 1997 when I came out. But I can see that it has even touched 2006 and it's pushing up. So I'm talking about the price. I'm not talking about the year, as you can see. The gold is right now 2006, right? That's the price, not the year. So I would say that let's look at what Bitcoin is doing. I want us to look at Bitcoin also. Like I said, because of the tension in the Middle East, Bitcoin also as an alternative, asset is also pushing up. And much more than that also, there's a lot of rumor going on right now that the Bitcoin spot ETF is likely to be approved this year, before the end of this year, 2023. And that's why we are seeing this, Bitcoin shooting up. Because yesterday we had I did a live class, webinar here on YouTube, where I was showing people what Bitcoin is likely to do based on, what gold has done after gold ETF was approved. We saw what gold did in the last 20 years. And I also believe so strongly that once we have that ETF approved, we are talking about trillions of dollars that are waiting to be invested in Bitcoin. We should be seeing Bitcoin doing massive upside move. So, and also, if you remember when we had this support, the more reason I didn't hold this price was because I remember when we are raging around this area, I was telling folks, and in my other videos, if you go to the other videos to watch, you will notice I mentioned this, that's, price sitting on this support that if we don't break to the downside, we should be breaking massively to the upside. And exactly that is what is happening right now. Okay, those that bought Bitcoin around there, they should be massive profit. And like I always say on this channel, when it comes to Bitcoin, what I do is I do this here dollar cost averaging. So, and I've been buying bits and pieces of Bitcoin for the past couple of months right now, and I'm still holding those positions. I'm going to be holding that positions, those Bitcoins, to the end of probably next year, or probably 2020, 2025 into 2026, because I know next year is Bitcoin halving. So after Bitcoin halving, we are going to be seeing a massive upward move. And couple that with the fact that, once we have the Bitcoin spot ETF approved, trust me, Bitcoin should do well above $100,000. All right. So I'm gonna say that let's go to EURUSD. So let's look at what the EURUSD is doing. Because the dollar is getting stronger, you can see that EURUSD is pulling back. If you go to let's look at I'm on the weekly weekly time frame right now. Let's see what is happening in the monthly time frame. This channel, this trend line. Remember last week or 2 weeks ago, I was talking about that the long-term, trend for EURUSD is actually down. It's actually to the downside. It's actually to the downside, And every other thing that you have been seeing for the past couple of months after we bottom around there is actually a pullback, more like a retracement. And we saw EURUSD broke out of this trend line. That was in around I think that was around February or March, thereabout. Then we broke out to the upside. Let me expand it so that you guys can see what I'm saying. So we broke out to the upside, all right? And after we broke out, then there's a pullback, and then we had a pullback. And now we are pulled back into this trend line. Now, if you pay attention, let me get my this. If you pay attention, you notice that after we broke out, at this range, we had similar breakout here, and then we now broken into this trend line. And then you can see, as you can see on my screen, after we broke into this trend line, we had this massive push to the downside. All right. So now we are seeing the same thing. We've broken out, and then now we are backing. So I'm expecting in the long run, probably from now to the end of the year, or probably early next year, we should be seeing EURUSD pushing back. All right. We should be seeing something that looks like this. Probably come and test the support. There's a support here that we are likely to test. All right. But then I'll be waiting on the sideline to see if I started taking massive shots. I'll be waiting for EURUSD to break this support, to break into this zone. Once I see a breaking, a good close, maybe weekly candlestick, let's say a bearish candlestick that closed properly into this zone, and I'll be looking for selling opportunities. All right. Okay. So that is that about EURUSD. Let me clean up this mess. Okay. Pardon me for that. All right. So that's, as you can see, EURUSD is looking super bearish right now. But at the same time, I'll be very careful selling around this area because this is support here. Like, don't forget, like I always say, don't sell at support. Okay. You want to wait for a pullback or a breakout. Don't sell at support, don't buy at resistance. As you can see that the support here. I've already highlighted this, so I won't be selling on this support. I'll rather either wait for a breakout, like I explained earlier, and jump on sale, or wait for a retracement. Sometimes you can have something that looks like this, and then price start falling. So I'd rather either wait for a pushback and wait for a selling opportunity, or I'll jump in around this area, or I wait for a breakout, a closing into this zone, and then I'm jumping. If you look at the same thing happened around there, after we broke in, we went back to test this trend line, and then we started coming down. All right. So I will say that before I go on, if you are not subscribed to my channel, please click the subscribe button. Also click the notification bell beside that subscribe button, and also make sure you like and share. Okay, so moving on, let's look at what pound USD is doing. This pound USD is literally doing the same thing that EURUSD is doing. If you look at this trend line, I'm actually on the monthly time frame. We were battling this trend line, around there, and then after we tested it, we came down, and this is looking like we are very close to testing it before we started coming down also. So I'll be using the same idea to start taking sell. Till I wait for a breakout of this support, a real good breakout into this zone. If I start taking sell, or a pullback and then I take a sell. All right, the same idea, with pounds USD. Okay, so also lastly, let's look at AUD/USD. AUD/USD is practically has been super bearish. Out of all the three major USD pairs, that I monitor on this channel, and I monitor on my account as well, I think AUD/USD has been super bearish. All right, so the same trading idea that I explained about pounds USD and euro USD is what I'll be waiting for, a breakout from there before I start taking a sell, or a pullback and I start taking a sell. All right, so like I said, if you're new to the channel, and ensure you subscribe to the channel. Okay, so I wish you a good beautiful, I'm wishing you a good beautiful trading week. And if you have not joined our community, I'll be dropping the Telegram link in the description below. Ensure you join us. Okay, thank you and have a beautiful week.